socioeconomically aware name, you know?
Would you say you guys are socially aware? Yeah.
I think so. I mean, if you look at the lyrics, Johnny's very, it's very external. It's externally based. It's about, the lyrics are based about the world around us, and it kind of comes along the lines of like, traditional death metal. You're kind of expecting, serial killers, Satan, anti-religious, gore, mummies, vampires, I don't know, whatever, your traditional...
Sounds like you're talking about the headline.
You know what I mean?
I didn't say it, Rob.
I didn't say it either. Do your thing, man. But, that's kind of just like the traditional cliche, almost, if you will, stuff to write about. Those are all like, pretty much like fake evils, you know what I mean? You don't need to make up stuff about zombies or whatever, or Dracula, or I don't know, whatever, you know what I mean, about it. Like, there's very real evils in the world that like actually affect and are a cause of the way life is the way it is, and a cause to a lot of the suffering that exists in the world. So I think that's why he chooses to sing about that stuff, is the real evils of the world.
Does that bother you a little bit to be sort of off on this side, that like death metal, where people really aren't digging too deep? They're just looking at the surface of it. Like, I was just
yeah.
I know you guys are clearly good playing. Probably one of the best metal bands that's come out.
Wow.
Wait a while.
Thank you.
If you haven't listened, go right now. Go to your MP3 player. Go to your Spotify. Go to your record store. You have a record? Do they have them anymore? I don't even know.
Yeah.
Can you buy a CD?
It's on iTunes, Amazon, all that stuff.
On Spotify.
Not on Spotify. I wish they were. I know. I love it. I have Spotify. I use it. For some reason, Metal Blade and Spotify aren't compatible right now. I don't know why.
You want Pandora or Slacker?
I believe, Pandora, Slacker.
Good Slacker. Go to Pandora. Get it. Fantastic band. Must check them out.
Very cool. Thank you very much.
No. Thank you for basically sort of changing what metal has been.
Thanks, man.
It's kind of going down a road where it's becoming derivative. I'm sure you're not going to agree, but
what?
Some becoming derivative, some bands are.
Oh no, yeah, definitely. I mean,
it's nice when that new young band comes along and see if they bring that home.
Yeah, thanks, man. I mean, it's kind of like.
Round two. Here we go. This is live. This is not. We're not making this up.
This is not a test. This is an emergency
But it's a metal day. What else?
Exactly.
Is it gonna go well?
Hey, stuff happens, man. It's crazy. It's like mayhem.
It's mayhem.
It's unbridled mayhem. It's unbridled mayhem. Car alarms, all kinds of crazy shit. I think if people want, it's like people want to get into the lyrics, they're there. If you want to just dig it, just enjoy the kind of the exterior. Not really dive too deep into lyrical content, just kind of like the music for what it is, that's totally cool. But if you dig a little bit deeper, Johnny's a great lyricist, and you can maybe, become aware of some kind of pretty hardcore problems with the world that, could use social consciousness, social awareness to be able to try to figure this stuff out.
Going back to Johnny being a pretty deep lyricist, your style of music, would you ever, or are you looking to go a little bit more mainstream?
I think
what that means is, you're young right now, so full hardcore. Are you going to tune it down, maybe like the Stone sound?
Oh, right.
Because sometimes lyrics not the best.
Sure, yeah. I think we're going to do Unplugged, MTV Unplugged, job for Cowboy.
There you go. If you can get the hats and everything.
Yeah. I think it'd be funny to have, some drop A acoustic guitars to see how this stuff comes out. Why not? Johnny's going to have to do the whisper, like the Jonathan Davis kind of like the new metal whisper thing. I think Johnny will just do that. Man, it'll be good. It could be awesome. You never know.
You have definitely your own influences.
Right. Man, I grew up on everything, my parents used to listen to anything from Fleetwood Mac, Phil Collins, Genesis, Peter Gabriel, Led Zeppelin, Robert Trower, Anita Baker, Tony Braxton. You know, like the stuff that my parents would play, I would get to that. Pink Floyd, you know, Alan Parsons Project, Marvin Gaye, all that kind of stuff. But then when I actually kind of like developed my own taste in music, when I first started getting into stuff, I was very heavily influenced by my cousins, and they, you know, pretty much got us on Guns N' Roses. From Guns N' Roses, we went to Metallica. We went to Pantera, and the whole grunge thing was going on. So I was a huge fan of, obviously Nirvana. When Nevermind came out, I was 11 or something. It was amazing. Soundgarden, Alice in Chains. You know, all bands like that. Chili Peppers was a big fan of Chili Peppers. Primus was a big band, amazing influence. And then that kind of led me down the road from there. So then we get to about Pantera level, and then from there, you know, somebody's going to show you some. So you get a little heavier. I got a Soylent Green record, and then I got like Dying Fetus, Destroy the Opposition, and then Sugar was big, Dillinger Escape Plan, that kind of stuff. So just kind of led down that path, you know. Bass-wise, check out Victor Wooten, check out Michael Manring, check out Marcus Miller, and check out Evan Brewer.
That's who you kind of look at.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sick players, man. Best interviews.
Any good tour stories?
Good tour stories, yeah. One time.
Amir just gave us one. They threw like this ninja party.
Oh,
Ninja Turtle.
Yeah. We had so far on this tour, nothing super crazy besides somebody went on somebody's bus the first night, eating on the couch.
Girl or guy? That was a girl. You got a story.
That's true. I know on another tour that I did, we were with like Devil Driver and the Faceless and Dying Fetus and 3 Inches of Blood, who are awesome dudes. And we were at Pops in Illinois, which is this Sauget, Illinois. And it's a very famous venue. Our man Redbeard works there. And we did, there's these couple bars to the left and to the right, and I was just kind of bouncing back and forth in between those two bars, just getting obliterated. And there's train tracks on the way in between the two. And then at some point, I don't really remember going back to the van, but our van was full, like it was like sold out. There's nowhere to go with it. And so I just woke up the next morning on the Faceless's rocket ship, just like, where the hell am I? You're in a moving vehicle. It's weird. It's weird enough to wake up in a place where you don't know where you are, and it's a home or something like that, or like outside at a venue or something like that. But when you wake up in a moving vehicle that you don't know whose it is or where you're going, that's a little fun thing. So like I had passed out on the train tracks. Said they picked me up off the train tracks.
That's not good, man.
That's put me in the. So yeah, it's a bad place to black out drinking train tracks.
Not on Jägermeister.
Right.
No, not on Jägermeister. That would never happen.
Yeah.
Never happen. And Rockstar Energy. That would never
Master
happen.
Hunter.
Never.
Master Hunter.
You want to talk about your setup real quick?
Sure. Yeah, definitely. Of course, I'm playing Warwick basses.
By Warwick.
Yeah, I mean, everybody already knows they're pretty much the best bass for, pretty much anything you want to do. Tone-wise, I just don't think that they can be beat, you know what I mean? So I'm playing a Dolphin, a Warwick Dolphin Pro 1, and then I have my custom streamer Stage 2 that they made for me. Yeah, it's really gorgeous. So I love playing that. They're making me another one too. Should have that in like 3 or 4 months, so that's gonna be awesome. And then for amps, I kind of in between companies right now. On this tour, I'm checking out Mason Boogie. They were super cool and were kind enough to hook me up with the rig to use for the tour. They were really close to Mountain View and stuff, so it was just right there. And so using the M9 carbine and the traditional Powerhouse 810. And then I also, always love my Aguilar gear, Aguilar DB750 and DB810. And then I think I'm gonna check out some Warwick gear as well. They have this WCA 600 and an 810 cab as well. So I'm kind of like, it's weird with the amp backline stuff because like you can't really ever, especially the way that we have to tour, you can't really ever say 100% for sure I'm gonna be using this. Like when we go over to Europe, you gotta keep the cost down, so you have to share your backline.
Right.
And so a lot of times, like the rental company that we're using doesn't have, my sponsored stuff. So I've kind of had to learn in the last, 4 or 5 years that you kind of got to learn to be able to make yourself sound like yourself through whatever. You know what I mean?
I've interviewed a couple bass players, and we interviewed Billy Sheehan actually.
Ooh, damn.
Billy Sheehan.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And, I don't know if you ever get a chance to talk to him. Real great guy.
Really?
Oh my
Awesome.
God, just down to earth.
That's killer, man. Yeah.
Steve would agree. It was just really open and just a lot of fun. And he's a pro. He's really good.
Sure.
And I've talked to him. I said, strings are just like strings are strings. Even though he was promoting his own line.
Sure.
He's kind of like, strings are strings.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
how do you feel about that?
Right now, I still haven't found anything that I really like better than the Dario.
I was gonna say Dario was on my mind.
Yeah, Pro Steels. I like that really bright piano-like punchy stainless steel. They're a little, stainless, pure stainless. They're a little grippy, but for some reason I find I like that better than the nickel. So, but yeah, I haven't found anything that beat those yet. So,
what are you listening to right now?
right now,
Besides everyone on tour, of course.
I've been listening to Spotify. So let's see what I have in my Spotify right now. My playlists include Outkast, Primus, Radiohead, Yo-Yo Ma,
Oh yeah.
Bach, Cello Suites, Peter Gabriel, Genesis, Alice in Chains, Deftones, New Queens of the Stone Age is a phenomenal record.
Josh, yes, amazing job there.
Yeah,
Amazing.
really, really awesome.
Queens is it's pretty stellar. Yeah.
Yep, Steve Miller Band, Mars Volta, Dillinger Escape Plan, New Dillinger Escape Plan, One of Us is the Killer. It's a phenomenal record.
Would you agree? And I've noticed this just from being talking to heavy metal people for so long.
Uh-huh.
It seems like their palette of music is just so diverse and so deep. Like you'll talk to some different artists in some genres, and they'll be kind of like pigeonholed, like that's all they're going to listen to. They're really not going to go beyond that comfort level.
Right.
And I just feel like talking to most metal musicians, they're Bach. Just
Yeah.
back. You're just like going off on that.
Yeah.
Is that just from your parents, or is that just a natural?
I just literally had this conversation last night with a guy on one of the production buses, and we had the exact same conversation. He's like, it's so crazy. He's like, it seems to be pretty common that metal people, A, don't really listen to that much metal, but B, they'll listen to all this other stuff. And I think it's because like we tour with a particular style of music, you sure do get your fill of it. You know what I mean? Like I hear death metal and extreme metal all day long, all year long. So I don't really need to listen to it on my iPod or in the car. So I want to listen to the other stuff. So I don't know what that is, but yeah, super, super diverse musical palette, musical horizons for metal musicians.
This tour in regard to genres of metal is it's pretty diverse. I think it's got some new metal, if you will, on it.
Yep.
It's got some deathcore. It's got some black. It's got Evan Sample. I just listened to his new Attica, which I was expecting more of a Biohazard feel.
Right.
It seemed like it was more. They had a little screamo in there. It was kind of interesting. A lot of the different genres in there. And then of course Rob Zombie. And then you could have gone to stoner metal with Mastodon.
Oh yeah.
Machine,
Machine Head, yeah.
so forth. How do you guys stand out? How do you say, okay, are you just gonna go up and do your thing, or what's your kind of?
I think honestly, I think that's it's been something that's been good for us. I mean, I think we're the most I think we're the death metal band on the tour. You know what I mean? Born of Osiris kind of has it's close, but it's got this other kind of like proggy stuff, and it's very kind of I don't want to use the word gent because I don't know if that's a bad word or not, but it's got that kind of gent.
Gent?
Yeah. It's like a style of music that they came up with. It's pretty much like, I think it pretty much came from like Meshuggah, just the sound, the sound of the gent.
Well, the math metal, okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's
So
I was referred to as math metal.
yeah. So it was. I think it was they have that kind of a thing. Huntress kind of has the 70s kind of vibe. Battlecross is, kind of like a Dahlia type of band. So I feel like just all out, just straight up heaviness. Like that's kind of the main focus. I think that's where our niche is on this tour.
It's interesting you refer to yourself as death. Most people think of death metal from the lyrics. You're talking about that in the lyrics.
Right.
Music, melody, harmonies, and so forth.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you guys have on the horizon? What's up next?
Basically, we got to write a new record. Got to have it out by April next year. We're thinking. So we're gonna try to get a tour or two in here, maybe just like a South America run, and then like one support States tour this fall to kind of take advantage of all the, make sure we stay fresh into people's minds after Mayhem. But then focus on getting that new record out and then start the whole damn thing over again.
Who's your I guess dream band to play? Love to play with.
You know, to be honest, man, like I've always wanted to tour with Mastodon. Mastodon. It's like one of my most listened to records or artists. So doing that, I mean, besides that, man, I mean, I guess I would say like, I don't know, maybe like Dillinger, or like that would be cool to go with those guys.
I'm surprised you haven't. These guys seem like to be a really good